In this video, why is Catbert such a good character to have and something with which, if you like, relates to a lot of people around the world? Consider this, most people all around the world like cats in a lot of cases, or if they know someone with a cat. And if you think about it, the cat animal itself is if you like, a cat animal, if you like, is quite a demanding animal, and it likes to, if you like, be the boss or centre of attention, which is part of what makes actually the Catbert character from Dilbert so smart in a sense. It is like in some cases a manager or a boss in a company or a director, because the boss or director will often be quite arrogant and quite, if you like, in control, demanding, that kind of stuff. This is part of what makes the Catbird department manager basically so smart. It also, well, relates to quite a common joke or common idea you may not know about, which is called people in the past, or some even still now, used to call human resources inhuman resources because it was like part of a joke, but it's also because a lot of actually human resources managers in the past were quite bad. Previously, before human resources came into action, there's personnel management. Personnel management was kind of like a more old-fashioned perspective into how management of staff basically worked. It didn't really work well for part of why human resources came into action, but this is part of what, if you like, part of what the joke is in relationship to it, because in the past that's really how human resources worked, in the sense your human resource boss is always in control of everything. You have no authority, you can't argue because he or she is always right. And that's part of what makes the show, this part, quite smart and quite funny at the same time. It also relates to a lot of people in a sense, because lots of people around the world have, if you like, a bad boss or bad bosses. So it relates to, if you like, someone who's got a bad boss or had a bad boss in the past. This is what kind of makes it quite smart, if you think, because there's also, as well, you may not realise, it's actually persuaded me or you to watch the show, because if I had a bad boss, I would watch it and find it quite funny. I know we've all had bad bosses, I'm no exception to that rule. I also, as well, find cats quite cute and quite amusing. So, as well, it's persuaded me to perspective from my past work experience. It's also persuaded me because I think cats are cute. So it's got two things to make me watch Dilbert or have some interest. And also, this is part of the reason why lots of TV shows, if you like, are based on real experiences rather than just made up stories. I'm just going to show you a wee clip into this just to give you more idea why it works quite smart.
Most companies have a human resources department, sometimes referred to as the inhuman resources department. And the Dilbert world is populated by Cartbert, the evil director of human resources. Take a look at these clips.
Still want to play games? Me? Yes, you. What do you want with me? Sign the papers. I can't see them. Oh, poor you. It's just a simple confession. Standard procedure in the human resources department. Using the internet for personal business. Pilfering dry erase markers. Kidnapping the Lindbergh baby? Shooting Larry Flint? Wait a minute. I'm not signing this. Oh, yes, you are. I make a fortune at autograph shows. Hey, wait a minute. I didn't do any of these things. You should have thought of that before I forged your confession. Thanks for playing. Now, go away. We need your help. I can't help. Why not? It's a company policy.
Aren't you the one who makes the company policies?
Do I have a great job or what?
I want you to make a Shook my assistant.
If I made Shook your assistant, it would destroy his tiny ego.
So you'll do it?
I'll need more than that. Help me help you.
All right, let's see. It would breed resentment throughout the entire employee population?
Uh-huh. Nice. Make a strong case. What are you thinking?
And this, if you like, what I've just shown you, that kind of relates to, if you like, the really extreme things that can happen in some companies in a sense. It's a wee bit exaggerated in reality, but it does kind of relate. If you've got a really bad boss, you can see your boss or bosses in that sort of perspective. And it also is sometimes common in different companies to have a really bad human resources director, for why even creator of Dilbert even says that himself. It does happen very often in big companies or even little ones. And that's part of what makes the show good, in the sense it persuades you to like the show if you've had a bad boss, if you've had a cat, or you know someone with a bad boss or cat, which is very likely you'll know someone with a cat or have a cat at least once in your life, or have at least once in your life a bad boss. And this is what makes the show quite powerful and quite smart, because it relates to most people in the world. It's not a case of it's just me, just you. It's basically everyone the show relates to. Anyway, that's all. Thanks, bye.